Angel Comedy is one of the best clubs in London. They've had top comedians like Russell Howard and Tommy Tiernan. Having done stand-up for 4 years, I was thrilled to get my first spot at Angel. Yet on the day, I put a box on my head. I've been so embarrassed and haven't watched it back until now. With 1 week to the gig, I needed to test my jokes, starting at the We Are Funny project.
I'm part British, part Polish. That means I should be good at taking land and jobs. I might not do them well, but I do them cheaper. I speak English, and thanks to my Polish side, better English than most.
I run Too Far Comedy and it's one of the most welcoming nights on the circuit. Still, no one sits at the front.
Welcome to Too Far Comedy! Yay! We put out too many chairs today, didn't we? So the first thing we're going to do is remove the front row.
Yeah.
Right, there we go.
Look at that space, yeah.
Hello, new front row! If you didn't notice or haven't realised, this is called the artillery arms. So I wouldn't mind if at this moment we could just take a moment to remember all of the great men and women who have died performing on this stage. Hello sir, what's your name?
I'm Sobin.
Sobin, let's all say hello to Sobin.
Hi, Sobin.
How do you spell that, Sobin?
Like Robin with the S. Sobin.
Okay. Yeah. So Batman and Sobin. Have you had that before?
Sorry?
Have you had that before? Someone say
Yeah, I usually say that.
Yeah. What do you do for work?
I work as a sustainability analyst.
A sustainability. I fell asleep listening. What does that mean?
Okay, then you are gonna sleep now. But I measure the carbon footprints of corporate companies.
Okay.
Help them reduce it.
Who's the worst?
Big ones. Obviously.
Which do they come to you being like, hey, are you gonna make us look good? And you're like, no, you guys are terrible.
Yeah, we like you have to work to look good. So.
That's what my wife says to me.
The night was going well until I spilt my drink all over the stage.
This is pretty awkward, isn't it? So I could. Look at this! Isn't this go for Eliza and Becky everybody? So, just a reminder, if you want to review this night.
Don't worry about reviewing, just smash that like button and subscribe. The double show at Lolipops in Southwark gave me one last chance to prepare for the big gig.
Little fact for you, did you know Smirnoff Ice doesn't have any vodka?
Oh.
Yeah. Technically, it's a malt beverage like beer. Yeah. They should do a knockoff version. I can't believe it's not vodka. And so once you start drinking Smirnoff Ice, it becomes a gateway drug to, like whiskey, tequila, and hand jobs on the dance floor. Now you know why those dance floors are sticky. Oh, that's a bad one. Richard's done a bad one.
Not the best preparations. Outside the Camden Head for my first ever gig at Angel Comedy Raw. And I have a box. Find out why. Okay, pause. It had taken me months to watch this video, and actually it wasn't that bad. I was buzzing from this gig, but I was embarrassed. I put a box on my head. But for the first time ever, I'm going to show you the full set.
Hello, you all good? Yeah. I was. Until about 2 hours ago, when my brother said to me, Richard, your new haircut makes you look like Noel Edmonds. My God, you know the TV presenter, the guy from Deal or No Deal? I'm afraid it's no deal. Oh, I asked the barber to make me look like Brad Pitt. I even showed him a picture, but instead I look like Noel bloody Edmonds. Because, you know, I prefer it when people come up to me in the street, like this guy did the other day, and he said, you look like that movie star, Keanu Reeves. Immediately, my wife yells, no! Don't tell him that! It'll go to his head! And I was like, me? I have told that once before, and there was a lady in the second row, and she went, The Matrix. And then my friend Will later said, I'm glad she said that, because I thought you were surfing in Point Break. Are you alright down there?
That's the second one.
It's the second one. That's alright, I am hilarious. You can spill your drinks, it's fine. So I mentioned my wife there because I'm married. Thank you. Uh-oh. Beyonce got 30 mil for doing that. So, you guys mentioned you're on your third date, right? Yeah. What was the first date?
First date?
The first date, yeah. In a cafe. Alright, not bad. That's fine. I'm going to go one better with the first date with my wife. I went on a fast and furious walking tour. So for those of you that don't know, our contemporary version of Shakespeare, Vincent Diesel, Fast and Furious 6 is set here in London. So we've been chatting for a little bit, and I devised a walk of the key locations. And she still turned up. And we were both wearing leather jackets. Sad, I know. So our aim was to find Corona, the drink, and after a few hours we struggled for a little bit. So I did as any good comedian would do, I stole someone else's joke and said, I know this fancy little Italian bar, Alberoni, all bar one. And success, it was there. And in the words of the great Dominic Toretto, it don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. And scene. And 3 years later, on our wedding day, everyone was toasting us with a bottle of Corona. To family. So the other day my wife was yelling through, Richard, put that show on. You should have seen her face when she walked in the room. She was like, Richard, I asked for that show, Mr. Bates versus the post office, not masturbates in the post office. And Richard, who was filming you? I'll leave you this. The other day I received a text. Text? Who still texts? Americans, that's who. Americans are more reluctant to join WhatsApp than they were World War II. So my friend asked me to look at his CV, and under languages it said, spoke French, nice. Speaks German, impressive. Can translate British English to American English. I said, this is garbage. He said, I think you mean rubbish. Thank you very much, I'm Richard Parr. I'm great evening.